And we're live from an undisclosed location for reasons of security and insecurity. We present to you MnRTV live show. And tonight, what a big show we've got, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Whistleblower, former World Bank Senior Counsel and Whistleblower, Karen Hudes. And what a show she's got tonight. It's one of those big shows, and we're very glad to have her. But without further ado, let me introduce to you tonight my partner, the one and the only Mario Cafe Mac, the Madman, Mario the Madman. That's it. End of story.
Robert, I honestly think you will never get it right.
I will, one day.
No, never.
But tonight, are you excited, Mario, who we're getting tonight? Do you realize we're having a former World Bank that used to work at the World Bank? And she's got a world of information. Karen Hudes. Doesn't it excite you?
Robert, this is perhaps, it's just, you know what, we're like a soccer team. We just get better as we go along. We just get better. That's what we are here at MnRTV live show. We just get better, and we're going to be getting a guest that's even better. But they're all great. They're all unbelievably amazing, these guests that we're going to get. Me, I'm exciting in half an hour around.
45 minutes, well, 8:15.
Okay.
On our show, and we'll be talking about the global the banking system, all kinds of stuff. Banking system that's going to be happening. They want to collapse the government. I mean, they want to collapse the economy. They want to bring in a new world order. It's just unreal what they want to do. And she's also.
But we're going to get into detail in half an hour roughly. So stay for half an hour. But in the meantime, I know, Robert, you're getting carried away once again because you like. This
brought to you by the Montreal Anti-Illuminati Task Force in collaborations with 12160.info. Go ahead, do your drill, man.
All right. So for the new people, you are welcome. There's always new people, and you will see what we mean by when we say there's always new people. You're always welcome here to the beautiful show that we have, the very exciting show. This is who I am. If people want to know who the hell is talking, who's that other voice, but we hear voices. Who's the other voice, the second voice? This is who I am. Now I'm going to be switching over to the screen so that you see exactly what I'm talking about, because that's more important to see what I'm talking about than to see me, right? What are you going to do with me? I'm not the information. I just say the information, and that's why you guys came here. You people, ladies and gentlemen, you came here to see the information we got. Okay. So now I was getting carried away. You see, Robert, it's spreading.
My disease is spreading.
You definitely are spreading. Where is it? It's like catching flies.
I'm so excited. I can't even hide it, you know, for tonight.
Okay, so I hate when this happens.
Okay, it's right there. I see it.
It's the wrong one. It's someone else's blog.
Oh, that again. No.
Okay, now we got it. Okay.
Got it. Yes, all good.
This is what Robert keeps talking about. 12160.
.info.
Yes, blogs, MnRTV, but anyways, I'll tell you how to find it, and I'll tell you about it, right? Because you want to know what it's about. So this is it. This is it. You see, you got the title, the description, the video. In case you don't see this video, it is simple. Just press refresh, or what do I get? Reload.
Reload. Yeah, we get reload because we're on Chrome.
And then you got Chatango right underneath, and with all the wonderful people on here. Hey, Elan, welcome to the show, and welcome everybody else that's new out there. And this is the guest that's going to be coming in roughly just about less than half an hour, or in half an hour. So people don't go anywhere, don't do anything we wouldn't do. Go out and get yourself popcorn and a good drink. Well, we suggest not to get popcorn after what we spoke about on last week's show. So that's it. That's 12160. It's everywhere. Robert posts everywhere. Okay, next. the beautiful MnR Productions blog.
Right there. Isn't it beautiful? Look at that picture of Montreal. I love it.
Yeah, Montreal is a great city. I don't care what people say. So the address for this, it's MnR Productions, Mariolaur.blogspot.ca, and it's in the description in every video that we did in the past. It's all there, so you can go and look at it. It's like all a record. This is what this is really. So it's like the 12160 blog or website. It's the same thing, the same principle. You got the the title, this information, and you got the video.
And our previous videos that we've been doing since 2006.
And you got MnR Hangout Chatango right there. Yes, and like Robert was saying, right on the side here, you have our older videos from 2006 all the way till now. You can go and see all what we've done, our history. That's the beauty of this blog. You know, you get to see how we started, how it began, how we came about. So that's it. I suggest you bookmark this.
Well, people that it's their first time here, you know, because we also have new people here, and it's great. It's wonderful.
We love having you people. Nizex. Oh no, this, my friend, that you know what I like about this show, Rob?
No.
Every time we talk about this conspiracy talk group, by the way, we do have the same thing on Google Plus, which is growing every day also on there. We're at 330 people there. This one, it's just
growing conspiracy talk. The greatest conspiracy group fast rising on Facebook today. Look at that, 30 new people just in the last couple of days.
Well, in a week or whatever, less, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know when, but they're there. And you saw last week we were at 740 or something.
Yeah.
And
now we're at 814.
Every day we get new people. And it's nice because we don't get spammers, because we don't tolerate spammers. So we tell you right off the bat, if you people put in any spam, you're gone.
You're gone, like they say. Like Ted Teven used to say, right?
Yes, Rob, but I don't know if you could mention this guy, even though he's deceased. I don't know if we're allowed, because you know how it is on the net. We're not allowed to mention names.
Well, yeah, but we mentioned even bad names, you know? But we're not going to get into the bad names right now. But
I grew up to be just like him. Anyhow, now remember
he's not a bad guy, though. Yeah, go ahead.
Robert post up that 12160 everywhere. Well, this is where you find it. You see, you just go here. Oops. You go here and you click on the title and bizang. It will take you right to the 12160.
Indeed.
So it's very simple. Bang, you're there. So, and then, you know what, let's scroll down a little and see what the hell people are missing. Because in case you're not on the conspiracy talk and you say, but come on, why are you guys spending so much time on this?
Well, it's a great website. It's beyond, it's just a growing community that's been growing and growing, and people are putting on. What I like about it is that people are actually contributing a lot.
People love this. Well, this I had to post up. Now this is,
yeah, like when you told me this afternoon, this is what, and I did the same search, folks. If you go, I don't know if it's still there now, but when you go to google.ca, you see this right there: aliens and soccer. What the heck does that mean?
Well, I almost fell off the chair. You know, all the times I almost fall off the chair. If one day it's going to happen, I'm fall off the chair, and if I fall off the chair and I injure myself, there's no MnRTV live show. But the thing with this is, when I was watching it, you see here, there's a ball. You saw Argentina versus the Netherlands. It's like, why? What are they trying to tell us here? Could it be that aliens are actually coming down? Are aliens watching what we do? Are these the watchers? Does Google know something?
They must know something. I mean, unless, no, I think it is. They're doing it for you and I. MnR, we're getting so popular. What do we always talk about lately? Soccer
and
aliens. That's all we talk about. So maybe what?
That's a great
So maybe that's why, for us, maybe only you and I can see it. I don't know, but I just don't get it. Why they're putting aliens and soccer. That's all we've been talking about. If we're not talking about soccer, World Cup, we're talking about aliens.
Yeah, that's like because they know MnR is going to be doing a live show tonight. So you know what? Let's play some.
But folks, if you guys go to google.ca, tell us if you see this. Google.ca. If you see this picture. It's very odd. This happened about 3 hours ago. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just us.
You know what? I feel like, no, I won't go. Or what? You know what? Hold on a second. Let me go and see. Maybe I can get it live. How about that?
Yeah, try it. Are you able to?
Let me see. Let me see. How did I get it in the first place? Oh yeah. Home? No, not home.
Google. Can't you type it in google.ca?
Google.ca.
Yeah.
I doubted they took it out because they.
I saw the same thing. Yeah, I seen the same Google page.
There we go. You see it? I posted it up. There you go.
Let me see. Wait, hold on, because I was talking. Yeah. So google.ca, you see aliens and soccer. We could understand soccer, but why aliens? Are they saying that people are just being like that's all they're concentrating on now, so they could attack us or something? The aliens could actually do whatever they're planning on doing.
I don't know, Rob, but for me, when I saw this, I said we must talk about it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's another thing. People give your comments, and people do like the pictures that we put up on here, and they leave their comments, and you know, I mean, it's a whole big family, and you know what they say? Like, it's funny. I was looking at something. I think I posted it up yesterday. Something about the 1%. Well, we outnumber the 1% just alone on this group of all what we know. You realize that?
Yeah.
And this is from our guest that came on a while ago.
Lisa Haven.
Yes, very knowledgeable. All her stuff is very great reads.
Exactly. I read that. A great article. Project Eslan. I've been knowing since '96 about Eslan, and tonight there's just a post of our great show tonight. And look at that. Is destroys antiquities. Tomb of Jonah smashed with sledgehammer. That's something, eh?
That's despicable. That's come on.
Exactly. And we got what else over here? Infowars.com, plunging towards Armageddon in Israel. Look at that.
Yeah, I know.
It's really bad, the situation that's going down there, isn't it?
The question is who's doing it?
Well, whatever it is, it's part of biblical prophecies that's supposed to happen.
Now, this is what excites you, Robert, right here.
Well, yeah, voice like your body. If you also, like you say, the mind is stronger than the body. You know, if you always say I can't or I hard or I'm worried, and you keep thinking about it, that's what's going to happen. They're saying I could do it, I believe. It's very hard to do, but if you could apply that, it's good in life.
No, it's there, yeah. And then, you know, there's stuff I post up every once in a while. You know, I mean, there's just so much. It never ends. There's just so much information. People just.
What, Mario?
Contributing. Well, yeah. All the people that are contributing.
Yeah, I think we should get to the news.
Oh yeah, because time is flying. I know, Robert.
And you know exactly.
I know. I'm like going like, you know, I'm just going about it. You know, I'm just like going. What's that?
You're just amazed and awe about how much the conspiracy talk is just growing, and people love it. You know, people are just like saying, "Oh my God, can I join? Can I join?" And they're joining, they're contributing. That's what we like. We're doing this for community. We're doing this not for ourselves. We're doing this show not to see me on TV or internet or Mario. It's to get the news out there. That's why we're doing this.
Speaking of the news,
is 5 things to know about the Iraqi jihadist group. Now, first of all, I don't know if you're aware of this, folks, but is an ancient god of Egypt that they used to worship. Now, that's the first thing.
And why would they come back with it?
Exactly. So now they're saying that this group is taking over. It's going to be the next big false flag, the next Bin Laden type group. Now over here, they're talking about like it says an Islamic State in Iraq and Syria has become one of the most feared jihadist group organization on the planet, even more so than its parent group Al Qaeda. What is it? What do the members want? Well, what do they want? There's many things that they want. But Mario,
the thing is for sure, 100% sure.
You're backed up by CIA.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So right there, it's like I was about to say that, but you stole the words, which is good, you know. Can save my for other things, but I don't know.
And this is the man right there.
News too, so you know, I'm just putting up what mainstream is saying, but we all know that it's
this guy here, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. He's the new terrorist group, the new leader, and he says, "People, you have to worship me." He says it. Fight with me. He's like he's like the new boogeyman. You know, before that we had Saddam Hussein, and then we had Bin Laden. Now they need a new boogeyman. And I'm sure that he's funded by the CIA, because the CIA did fund Al Qaeda, who I call Al-Qaeda. How is this funded? Yeah, how is it? They're funded by the U.S. That's for sure. But here they're just saying that they're funded by people in Saudi Arabia and Qatar, from financial institutions, from privately wealthy people.
Bull crap.
That's just to cover up their tracks. That's for sure.
I mean, I don't know. This article is, but that's it. Just this is mainstream media, and it's CIA that's behind all that. We know that. We're going to go on to the next thing. I mean, it's all. I don't know, Rob. It's.
Yeah, no, we just say it like that, you know, but
it's another false flag. That's what it is. It's a false flag. Now let's get to other news. Shall we get to other news?
Yes.
Now wait before you go further, Rob. Now we're going to be starting off with robots, the wonderful world of robots, just in case people want to know. And this is what they're up to.
NASA equips space robots with smartphones.
Were you aware of this, Robert?
No, I was not aware of it, but why do they need smartphones? Do they need to text each other? NASA plans to send Google 3D smartphones into space to function as the eye and brains of free-flying robots inside the space station. The robots, known as spheres, synchronized position holds in range reorient experimental satellites, currently have limited capabilities. It's hoped that smartphones powered by Google's Project Tango will equip the robots with more functionality. The robots have been described by experts as incredibly clever.
You know what this means, Rob? You don't have to read the rest.
No, no.
I mean, the articles will be in the description. You know what this means?
Yeah.
That Big Brother is going to be going to space.
Well, there's already Eye in the Sky already. You know the song Eye in the Sky? But this is just... Eh?
Yeah, I know.
That song, yeah, this is even more. This is like 3D embedded chips. That this technology is going to be, it's beyond anything, you know. It's not going to be able to think for itself. It's going to have motion tracking cameras, infrared. It's going to be able to do everything. They'll be launched into space 11th of September. And they sent these smartphones to the space stations, which they had purchased from Best Buy, an American electronics shop.
Very, very, very odd, I tell you. So that's where the people's money is going. It's going to space.
Yeah.
Nice.
People that are starving, their money, that's where it's going. People's tax money going into space.
I don't know, man. It's very ridiculous. Now we're still going to stick with robots because that's what people want to, you know.
Robots, the newest members of the middle class or the end of it. When the robots disrupt the workplace, it's clear that one group of society will be the first in the firing line, the middle classes. The latest to warn of this class attack is the UK's University and Science Minister, David Willetts, who said this week that the jobs most at risk of usurping by robots were white-collar professions. White-collar, isn't that people in jobs like accounts and journalism?
Secretaries, exactly.
Yeah, so...
They're the ones that they're going to go after.
It's not good at all, because that's what they want to do. They want to wipe out the middle class.
And they're going to replace it with robots. Isn't that, like, insane?
It is.
Thought that, like, you know, because Rob, to the Illuminati, the robots are more important than us humans, because we're scum.
Yeah, we're scumbags to them.
Because God created us, and they don't like it that God has created us. They want their own creation. They want to be God. But you know what? People don't understand that, right?
That's right, they don't understand that, and now look what's happening. I mean, it's just unreal that they're gonna make more people be more poor, more people job loss.
The middle class, the struggling middle class. Look in the mirror, people. That's us. The last and final article on robots is coming up. I know people are gonna say, "But why robots?" Because, you know, I mean, it has to do a lot with us.
Exactly. Millennial robots. Who will win the job? Joining the workforce in the age of pizza delivering drones and self-driving cars is easier said than done, especially for millennials. Available jobs are increasingly going to equally qualified applicants, the types that were once just a thing of Hollywood movies, robots. Consider the irony. Millennials are coming of age in a world where the ones that think that they understand better than any other generation technology may be the one thing that hurts them most of the time. Well, yeah, that's society's gonna be too advanced and they're gonna be like too hooked up to this technology, which is, I find it's no good.
And look who's in the middle of it all.
Yeah,
look.
Google co-founder Larry Page, for example, says one antidote for high unemployment is to view employment differently. If people prefer not to work 24/7, just reduce work time, but don't consider part-time a negative. The Google CEO work less, do better mentality was laid out in a Thursday interview with fellow Google pioneer, that's his partner, Serge Bernin, conducted by billionaire venture capitalist Vinod Khosla. You see, these are all like the elites, billionaires, multi-billionaires that are planning our future, folks, without our consent.
But look, just reduce work time. This means our pays will be reduced also. They will not give us a bigger pay.
No.
I'm telling you. Enough with that.
But tonight I guess we're going to be talking about the global economy when it collapses and what's going to happen. So this all ties into it. But she'll be in perfect position to tell us about that. All right, next information here is coming up. Junk food gets encoded in DNA of future children. Scientists discover. And what is this? Is this a hot dog?
Nice burger. No, actually, that's a burger. That's a burger made with donut. Yuck.
Oh boy. The next time you wolf down the Big Mac with large fries, consider you may be affecting more than your own waistline. Scientists now say that an unhealthy diet can be encoded into DNA, which is passed down to future generations. By now, most people have heard various negative things about a Western diet. It is too fatty, too salty, too sugary. It can cause problems with the immune system, disturb the chemical makeup of the stomach, and perhaps the most obvious of all symptoms lead to obesity.
So that's it. Whatever you see, Rob, I drink coffee. Me, it's going to be in my genes. So my kids are going to drink coffee from the coffee place I drink coffee. And here it just shows like exactly what's, at stake. And you could pause and read for you. Who's feeding us this garbage, Rob? All these big companies.
GMOs, Monsanto, McDonald's.
No, don't say that name. Don't say that name.
Burger King, Harvey's.
Hey, this guy.
Kentucky. And look at the gut, and look right there, the gut inflammation system. Look, red meat. Can't have no red meat, no sugar. No salt, no apple. Seems we can't eat anything. No cheese. Oh boy.
Well, we're doomed. We're doomed. We can't even drink water anymore. Now we're going to be moving on to the next topic because we don't have all day.
No, we don't. Because we got a big guest coming on tonight.
Unfortunately, we don't got all day.
No.
We just position it.
All right. Next article right here says, Chinese president says conflict with U.S. would be disaster. President Xi Jinping called for greater military communication with the U.S., saying, as he hopes high-level talks between the two countries, that any conflict would be global disaster. China needs a stable environment more than ever, and it's inevitable the two sides will have some disputes, Xi says at the Dia Tuyatai guest house before the U.S.-China strategic and economic dialogue in Beijing. A conflict between China and the United States will definitely be a disaster for the two countries and the world, Xi says. As long as we uphold mutual respect, maintain strategic patience, and remain unperturbed by individual incidents and comments, we will be able to keep relations on a firm footing despite ups and downs that may come our way.
So it doesn't look good, right?
Well, he wants to keep the peace. But if you go down the article, it talks about the ongoing disputes that they're having, the two countries. But believe you me, we do not want war between these countries.
No. I know.
And that also applies to Russia.
Next, Rob, this is for me.
And me, because I drink coffee also. What it takes to make a decent cup of coffee in space.
You see? What if we go to space? We need.
I don't want to go in space. You know what there is there in space?
Yeah, I know. And this is why, because you see,
when our pals at the Two Ways wrote some last month that engineers had finally come up with a way to brew some good Italian espresso on the International Space Station, we were thoroughly intrigued, as they reported that space-age coffee called naturally the ISS. Here's the it almost is ISS espresso. It is a capsule-based brewing system. It's similar in principle to a Keurig machine, but engineers at the Italian aerospace from Argotec, along with coffee company Lavazza and the Italian space agency ASI, finessed it to functionally in the microgravity environment. Just when did space get so hipster? First, they're starting to grow their own salad and vegetables up there, and now they're getting fancy coffee. What's next? A microbrewer on Mars? Well, that you never know.
No, what if one day we decide to go to Mars, we want our coffee? You know, we need this stuff, right? How many times have we said coffee today?
A lot. We needed the coffee to function, but I don't know if we plan on going into space.
No coffee, my friend. No MnRTV live show, because
no MnR videos. Period.
Yeah, because you know, I mean, we need that. Speaking of space,
flying saucer picture is genuine UFO, government experts claim.
Government, Rob, it's governments now, eh?
UFO government, yeah. Look at that. Check out these pictures by engineers. Look at that. So they're actually admitting it.
Yes, the Chileans.
Oh yeah, it's true. They were. A flying saucer snapped above a remote Chilean copper mine has baffled government experts who admitted it must be a real UFO. The object was described by workers as a flattened disc of brilliant color with a diameter of 5 to 10 meters. They took it with a Samsung camera.
Probably. I mean, it's powerful.
Look. Oh yeah, look at these pictures. We're seeing like a more detailed picture there.
There too.
Oh yeah.
You gotta rush because.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're just gonna show the pictures because soon we gotta go on break. And there's a little article there. Do you believe that aliens exist? Yes or no?
Well, of course they exist.
But they're not. It's not what we
next couple of articles will be on aliens anyway,
Buzz
so...
Aldrin described his UFO encounter during Apollo 11. For those of you who don't know who Buzz Aldrin was, he was the second man to walk the moon in 1969. And right there's a great article. And he never wanted to talk about it though, eh?
No, I know. I wonder why. They must have really told him to keep quiet.
Or else, yeah, he's been covering it up. Yeah, look at this article. Open Minds. Yeah, that's a great website.
We always feature it.
Yeah. It says Aldrin had also made strange statements that some believe alluded to Aldrin knowledge about extraterrestrial presence in space that he would like to share. But then he says that his words were taken out of context, but we know what he meant.
I mean, this is a great article for people to read. I'm just going down in case you see something good.
Yeah.
I remember when he appeared on Larry King.
And what did he say? Did he talk about the UFOs?
Yeah, right here.
Okay, to be fair, discussed it.
Right here.
Yeah. But he says no, it's taken out of context. I don't think he really wants to admit it, though.
No.
Maybe they threatened his family. But isn't he deceased now?
I think so.
I don't know. Was it Neil Armstrong? I'm not entirely sure.
Well, one of them is sad, but...
Yeah, for sure.
The next article I'm going to pull up is very interesting also. As soon as it's...
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
A new light spotted on Mars. Is it a UFO landing? And this is recent news from yesterday. As folks, as you can see right there, light from UFO on Mars. YouTube.
Right there, you see it?
Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. UFO Mars. A cat on Mars. What was that? A cat? Wow.
That's what we're saying.
A cat?
A toy boat.
How the hell do you get that there?
Left on Mars.
Well,
yeah,
who's been?
boat. I don't know.
Who the heck is on Mars? That's my question.
A mysterious creature, you see it, but I don't know.
Right there, it looks like a lizard. Right there.
Now people are gonna say, yeah, but it's been photoshopped. A half-human face goat, a half-goat face.
You see, who created Photoshop? Apple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they created that like that. Now everything that people say, oh, it's Photoshop, it's Photoshop. Even if we discover this, even if we take pictures and say, oh, we Photoshopped, so it's protected. They're protected. They're not stupid, eh? Not stupid at all. But look at that. That looks like a demon. Did you see that? The previous picture.
Yeah.
Looks like some kind of demon or something.
But look at this. You see the UFOs in space.
Yeah. Right there, the three of them, I think. A UFO in the atmosphere. It's zoomed, yeah.
Meanwhile, on the moon, whatever it is. So when I saw this, I was like, "Wow, this is great stuff."
Yeah, sure. Exactly. But as proof, solid proof, police say that the photos of the red planet surface taken last month, Bigfoot. What did it say? Solid proof. People don't believe it.
Yeah, but that you know, I don't know. For me, when I see things like that, I'm like, that's an imagination. It's like looking at a cloud and you say, oh, that looks like an elephant, or oh, that looks like a tree, you know? Many of those things. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. But I do hope that it's not Photoshop and it's reality.
And the last article will go fast because, you know, Trish wants her time of fame.
She does, doesn't she? Police confirm search of UFO reported.
So they're everywhere. They're just coming out like crazy.
But the thing is, the truth is coming out.
Yeah, did you see this?
What?
UFOs have been spotted regularly in the sky in the past 4 years, with ghostly activity also prompting 999 calls.
999 calls to poor cops, right? The data police by die-fed palsy police included a caller from Westfield who reported seeing a UFO dropping in the distance, and a caller from Linmipetch complaining of objects being moved around the house and the attic door being found open. There were 2 reports of UFO in the police force area last year. Well, that's wonderful.
So they're just going more and more. There's more.
And they're saying they were abducted by aliens, experimented on, then returned to Earth. Are you kidding? The government is doing this on purpose. Because what happened was the government told them, take these people, but give us technology, a certain amount. But the alien UFOs took more than they're supposed to. And I guess that's
like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And here's the list of all the retired policemen and.
Yeah.
So that's it for that.
Yeah. So we'll go for a little break, and then we come back. We're gonna have special guest on. Karen Hudes.
Yes, so in the meantime, Trish will come up.
Yeah, Trish will come up, and we'll be back after in a couple of minutes. And you can learn a bit about our guest who's coming on tonight for those of you who don't know her. We'll be back after a short break.
So don't go anywhere.
No.
Stay tuned for more. All right, here's Trish.
Yeah.
Karen Hudes, former senior attorney with the central bank system for 20 years, announces the existence of a second species on Earth. She also goes on to state that many are hiding in the Vatican with 5 days to go until Courtney Brown's announcement. I am expecting to see mentions online of specific bits and pieces of information which may connect up to the actual announcement and possibly confirm the guesses that many have already made in relation to it. This information that Karen Hudes discusses in a 32-minute interview with Future Money Trends 2 days ago, which I will link to below, relates directly to a number of themes in regards to Courtney Brown's implication postings, and therefore his possible upcoming announcement. This group has large brains. They are very distinct from Homo sapiens. Their DNA is so different that if the 2 species mated, their offspring would be infertile, and we know this because their DNA was just tested. They have skulls all over the place. Karen Hudes, March 7, 2014. The mention of a second species living alongside Homo sapiens, which Karen Hudes discusses in this interview, may actually relate to the Paracus elongated skulls, which I posted an article about back on February the 14th. Recent DNA tests show they are a separate species to humans. Firstly, it's important for us to understand who Karen Hudes is. Karen Hudes studied law at Yale Law School and economics at the University of Amsterdam. She worked in the U.S. Export-Import Bank of the U.S. from 19,801,985 and in the legal department of the World Bank from 19,862,007, where she became a senior counselor. While she was working at the World Bank, she happened to uncover a lot of corrupt activities. It got to the stage where she could no longer keep quiet about the corruption, and she followed the proper procedures to report her findings. She first went to the World Bank's Evaluation Department and country directors, and then to the United States Treasury Department and even the United States Congress. All of her requests were ignored, and in some cases, completely covered up. So she went public. Over the last few years, she got involved with a group of whistleblowers and started connecting the dots. She found that the corruption wasn't just at the World Bank, but was woven throughout the fabric of the entirety of the global financial and political systems. She has labeled the situation a global conspiracy. 23 minutes into this interview is when Karen Hudes starts discussing the information surrounding what may relate to Courtney Brown's announcement. Upload to disclose. TV Future Money Trends. Who is calling the shots at the Vatican? I am assuming it's not the Pope. Karen Hudes. Well, there is something called the Black Pope, but that's not the ultimate reason why we have been in the fix that we are in. What we have found out, and this sounds implausible, But it's absolutely correct. The fact that it's been held in secret doesn't mean that it's not true. It is true. There is a second species on this planet. They are not extraterrestrial. They are very much with us. They made maps in the previous ice age. The remnants of their civilizations are all over the place. A lot of times along the coast it's submerged because the sea level has gone up by 400 meters. But this group has large brains. They are very distinct from Homo sapiens. Future money trends. Who is calling the shots at the Vatican? I am assuming it's not the Pope. Karen Hudes. Well, there is something called the Black Pope, but that's not the ultimate reason why we have been in the fix that we are in. What we have found out, and this sounds implausible, but it's absolutely correct. The fact that it's been held in secret doesn't mean that it's not true. It is true. There is a second species on this planet. They are not extraterrestrial. They are very much with us. They made maps in the previous ice age. The remnants of their civilizations are all over the place. A lot of times along the coast it's submerged because the sea level has gone up by 400 meters. But this group has large brains. They are very distinct from Homo sapiens. Moses was actually a Canadian who was a pharaoh. They know this because the papyrus which was taken from one of the pyramids talks about this. The people that were doing archaeology in Israel know this. And the reason is that not only Homo sapiens is trying to keep human beings under control by divide and conquer, using our money system, they have also been doing this with our religion.
Thank you, Trish. Wow, Trish, you gave us a lot of good information there. Yes, I'm impressed. This is like mind-boggling, mind-blowing. Hold on to your chair.
Unreal, yeah, exactly. And she knows about the Vatican, the Black Pope, the Jesuits, this type of species that are living with us, but they're not extraterrestrial, they're just living with us, a different type of species. We're going to have to get into that, that's for sure. And of course, the banking system that she's been working for so many years.
Yes. It's unbelievable.
Exactly.
I'm going to go and see.
You're going to what, man?
I'm looking at the Chatangle to see what's happening, what I missed out. And when the guest does come on, it'd be very nice if everybody wants to ask questions, yeah. You know.
I'm sure you're going to have questions for a guest that I'm going to bring up in 2 minutes. I'm going to call up.
Yeah, it's like, feel free. We'll take questions. We like your questions. You know, I have lots of questions myself, so I will be posting them and posing them and asking them and you name it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's gonna be great to have her on. I mean, the world of information that she has, it's just mind-boggling. Just unreal.
Yeah, definitely.
She was working at the bank, in the World Bank, and she even says it, that there's an elite group that's controlling a very tight core financial institutions and mega corporations that's just dominating the whole planet, you know. So it's going to be great to have her. I mean,
yeah.
People like when I told them we're getting Karen Hudes on, they're like, "Oh my God, really?" So like, wow, really good work, you know. And it's going to be wonderful because I've been trying to get this lady on for a while. It's going to be completely amazing having her on.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, people do something, but whatever you do, enjoy the show, because that's what we want. We want you to sit back, relax, and just enjoy what you're going to hear. Because I know I am. Robert is.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right, I'm going to try and call her now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready, Mario?
I'm ready. If you want, All right. I will talk, and I don't know if we're going to hear you or...
Well, I'm going to try calling right now. It's the time.
Okay, are you going to mute yourself so I can talk, or...
I don't know if I could mute.
Yeah, I think you could mute on Google Hangout.
Wait.
Oh boy, I think I lost Robert for a little bit, but it's okay, not a problem. While he's taking care of that business, me, I'm going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. Because you know me, I have a lot of things to talk about, right? I always have something. Now, gold, we're going to be talking about gold. Where the heck could you go buy bricks of gold? That's the magical question for you tonight, people. Where could you buy gold and silver? It comes in bricks. Where could you find them? And the question is also is when you do get them, where are you going to put them? To the bank again? You got to go bring them to the bank so that they're safe in the bank. Who keeps these gold bricks for you? That's, it's like every day I think of that because there's going to be one day when money is not going to be worth anything. Just a piece of paper that they gave us and say, look at this. It's a piece of paper and we're going to control your life with this piece of paper. Come on. You honestly think that a piece of paper is going to get me going? That is why I am looking forward to this guest that we're getting. Because she's going to try and tell us, well, not try and tell us, but tell us what she knows, because it's very important that they tell us what they know. That's why I'm here. That's why you're here to listen, because we want to survive whatever's coming our way. Robert.
Yeah.
You're back.
I'm back. I'm back, baby. Woo!
And the guest?
I can't reach the guest. Did I hear something?
Yeah, that's me dropping my fist.
Oh, okay. Don't drop your phone, man.
Okay, so
what? I see a question here. Yeah, I have to reach her first. I mean, I don't know. I called her. There's no answer. Maybe she'll be late. Sometimes it happens, I don't know. I'm gonna try. I tried contacting her twice.
So do I go to my extra stuff that I have, because I always have backup?
Backup. Yeah. Go do that. I'm gonna try contacting her through Facebook. But
good idea.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll knock myself out again. Well, I'll try contacting her.
Okay. Me, I'm gonna go on to a website that.
Okay.
That right. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Okay. I'm in control.
I'll try and see what's going on. Okay.
All right. So now, you know what? I always look at things to save us, right? Now, I found this beautiful website because me, I like to survive, right? I mean, for Pete's sakes, there'll be a day when we'll look at ants and we'll say, they look good to eat. It's going to come to that, people. But in the meantime, we still got fruits and vegetables that we can plant and grow ourselves, and that they come back. They will come back every year, because you know that there are certain fruits and vegetables that once they die, there's, you have to wait for the next year. Now that sucks. That's the thing of nature that kind of sucks, if you ask me, right? But yes, I came across this. I found out it's very interesting. The 10 fruits and vegetables you can plant once, and they will keep coming back every year. Now, it's like it's like, I'll give you an example. Avocados. These fruits, where do they come from anyways, avocados? Do they come from South Africa? Do they come from Europe? Do they come from South America? They grow these everywhere, but they don't grow these in Canada. I don't know how I'm going to grow avocados in Canada, in my backyard. And then these are big plants. These are big trees. how am I going to grow them in my bedroom? Can't grow these in my bedroom because now I'm in my bedroom, in one of my bedrooms, in one of my rooms. And if I have an avocado, okay, if I have an avocado, I can't be doing MnRTV live show in an avocado tree in my room. So this is out of the question. This is out of the, there's no way. Rob, you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
And?
I'm back, and no news. I don't know what's going on.
You know?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I told her. I mean, she said, okay, Wednesday night is fine. She chose the 9th, you know, and there's a time delay. It's in, where she is. I'm not gonna say. It's in the morning now. But I told her it'll be okay in the morning. She said, yeah, perfect. So her Skype was on, and I sent her a message an hour ago. She didn't get back. I figured, okay, at 8:15, you know, and there is no answer. I called 2-3 times. I left a message also on Facebook and on Skype. So now it's like a waiting game.
So what do we do in the meantime? Do we continue talking about avocados in your room? Like, Rob, would you grow an avocado in your room? Do you have room for an avocado?
Not really. No, I have no room for an avocado right now. I mean, I need a garden, don't I?
No, but look what they're saying, these people here. Do you see that? Humidity and semi-humidity tropics. You know what this means? That you got to make like an environment for your trees to be like Mexico. I thought I read somewhere Mexico. Right there. You see that?
Yeah. Exactly. So that's it. You know, it'd be good to grow our own fruits and buy silver.
But that's what I'm trying to tell people. But you know, if you by growing, you can't eat silver or gold, but you could also.
No, you can't eat that. But if you grow fruits and you have silver and gold, that's gonna be good for the current economic collapse that's gonna happen.
Around 32 degrees. You see that? Minus 28 Fahrenheit.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know. I personally. Avocados, I think of avocados as Mexican. That's what I think of when someone says avocados. Now you can grow these things. The next one, oh yeah, baby, artichokes. Artichokes. Yeah, I love artichokes.
Artichoke.
Why? What is it? Artichokes or artichokes?
Artichokes, not anti-chokes.
You choke on the art. There you go.
Exactly, and yeah, exactly.
All right. Now. You see.
What?
The summer are too hot. The ideal growing conditions are cool and moist summer and mild winters. That means if we are to grow these things all year round, this is insane, Rob. We have to grow these things all year round in our bedroom.
We can't. Where we live, we can't grow this.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
If you have the climate, if you have mild winters and months, well, the artichokes will survive. Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
We'd have to grow our own food in order to survive what's going to be coming.
But look what it says. Florida and Texas. Those are the states.
So we have to go to either Florida or Texas.
No, wait. It says except possible southern states like except.
So I can't go to. But those are the only 2 states I want to go to. Well, 2 out of the 3: Florida, Texas, and California.
You do not want those states. They all have problems.
No, yeah, but Texas has. I heard that has beautiful women there.
What's Zone 8?
I don't know what Zone 8 is.
If you're living in a climate colder than Zone 8, it is the best start new plants each year. It is best to start new plants each year. Zone 8. Anybody know what Zone 8 is?
Anyone in the chat room know what Zone 8 is?
Mr. Miller, him is. He grows plants all the time.
He's not there, Mr. Miller.
It's impressing, Mr. Miller. Anyways, the next one.
Yeah.
Number three, asparagus.
Do you like asparaguses?
Robert, done right, asparaguses are the best. The best way to do asparaguses is you take them, you boil them, you crack a couple of eggs, and you do them as an omelet.
I'm starting to get hungry now.
But that's how you do asparaguses. The best way to cook asparaguses, or also what I also do, is I steam them, cut them. Obviously, you have to cut the heads off, you know? You don't want to eat the heads, but you cut the stem. What you do is you cut the stems, and then you boil them, or you steam them. Then you take a drop of vinegar, balsamic, and a drop of olive oil, right?
That's healthy holistic living, right? That this is.
It's the best thing. It's like you eat that as a salad. So that is why asparaguses are the best things. Just that I advise you that when you go to the washroom, it'll smell funny, but it's different. It's not.
All right, I'm gonna try contacting our guest again.
I'm just telling you because don't freak out. I know. You know.
For now, yeah. I'm gonna try contacting Mrs. Karen Hudges again.
But listen, I tell the truth here. You know, I'm trying to explain to people.
Oh, for sure,
what exactly is expected by asparaguses.
Yeah. All right, I'll try getting her back. Getting her to begin with.
All right. Yes, so where was I? Asparaguses. Now, don't freak out, people, what I just told you there, but it's true. But it's good because it means that it's cleaning you out. It's like water. You know, you drink water and it cleans you out. That's what asparaguses do. That is why it's very, very essential that you have your asparaguses intake at least once in a while. I have it in the winter time a lot. I don't know why. I guess it's simple because like they say here, it grows in the south or zone 8, wherever zone 8 is. I don't know. But that's asparaguses. That's number 3. Now we're going to go with the funnel. I don't know if it has anything to do with the funnel seed, but these things, they taste like licorice. If you like licorice, the black licorice, this tastes like licorice. Now, licorice is very nice, but funnel, it's similar to a celery. It has, yeah, there you go. That will give you an aroma, a romantic seed for seasoning. There you go. That's where that funnel seed comes in. Now, in Italian culture, the seed is very important. It's used like there you go. You see, but me, I don't even need to talk. All I have to do is just do this because it shows you exactly what I mean. Mediterranean is Italian and the Greek, right? The Greek place. So funnel seeds, my friend, we put them in sausages. We put them in tarals. What's a taral? You're asking me, what the hell is a taral? Me, I'm not Italian. I don't know what a taral is. Taral is very simple. It's like a donut, crusty donut. Look it up. Google it. It tastes. It comes in sweet. You can make it sweet with sugar, or you can make it with fennel. Me, I like the tarals. And there's the bares taral, which is like swirled, but that's a taral for you. No, we're not talking about taral. We're talking about funnel seeds. It comes from this beautiful plant, and I have this in salad too. It's very refreshing. You know, you remove the little hairs that are on top. You cut them. You know, you snip them up. Snip, 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 snip. And you could put this in a salad. And this grows all year round. It keeps growing because the stems are down, you know? I mean, the roots, they're there. So you could keep on making it grow. Rob, you're back. Rob. He can't hear me.
I could. I hear you now, yeah, because I had put I had muted you as I was calling her.
And?
Disparu, je sais pas moi. There's no answer, nothing. I hope nothing happened to her.
Wow. This isn't good stuff, because me, I could talk about these fruits, because me, I love talking vegetables,
but
right?
You're getting hungry now.
I'm talking about tarals, Rob. I was talking about tarals. I don't know if you heard me talk about tarals.
No, I didn't. But I'm getting hungry now. I mean, it's unreal. And I just ate before coming on the show.
Because we were talking about. I was talking. Let me just explain to you, since you weren't able to come to listen to what I was saying. The funnel seeds. This funnel seeds is what grows these beautiful things that you put in the salad. You can put these things in the salad, funnels. But the thing is, they come with the seed. Now, the seed, as I was explaining to people, you could put them in sausages, and you could put them in tarals. You know tarals, Rob. I'm sure you eat tarals all the time. You look like a taral eater. Right?
Yeah, for sure. But
the funnel seeds, that they're very useful in our culture.
They are. And they're delicious. And they're yummy too.
Now, Rob, speaking of your number 5, lemon, Rob. I know you love lemon, right? That's like one of your favorite fruits. But you also take lemon and you put it on your fish.
Yes, I do. And lemon cookies.
Lemon cookies, lemon meringue. You see, lemons, you can grow them all year round.
Now you're getting me really hungry, my friend.
I know, Rob. I know you like lemons. I know you're a big lemon eater. You know, lemon's very good, actually. They say if you take a lemon and you squirt it in a thing of water, a glass of water, and you drink it before you eat, you will not be hungry anymore. I never tried that thing.
You should try it, though.
But why would I want to try it?
You should try it in case one day when everything collapses. Hopefully we'll have some. We'll have that, so it'll cut our appetite.
Bye. So I don't know how we can grow lemon trees, citrus, sweet citrus trees.
Sweet citrus trees, yeah. It sounds like a
orange.
Sweet.
Oranges need hotter climates, right, Rob?
Yeah, tropical and subtropical climates. Sweet citrus trees, oranges need much hotter climates, but sour citrus such as lemons don't require high temperature, making them a possibility even for those in cooler coastal areas.
So, in other words, Rob, another tree for you to grow in your bedroom and in your living room, and you could pick lemons, and you could cut them up, and you can make them in your lemon pie. Oh no, this I like. Onions and garlics.
Yummy.
Not only do they scare away the vampires, they also keep growing all year round. You just have to cut them and they'll keep growing. And
garlic is good if you have high blood pressure, right? It lowers the high blood pressure of anybody. Did you know that, Mario?
Yeah, listen, I mean, garlic is the number one thing. You could do a lot of stuff with garlic. It's like kind of like ginger, you know ginger?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Garlic it's like, I could put garlic on everything except for sweets, of course, but you're not supposed to eat sweets. So that's it with garlic. It's very great. Oh, now next, yes. You notice half of all these vegetables that keep popping up here, they're all Italian. Radicchio.
That's radishes.
No.
No?
No. Radicchio is a kind of a red, what? Chicory. Yeah, that's what it is. Chicory.
Okay.
You put this in a salad. See, right now, I'm giving you the best of the world with salad.
Now, all you're giving me right here now is an appetite.
And you see, I just pull this out, right? But look, it's not like Mario is talking good about Italy all the time. I just plucked out Italy right there. Popular in Italy.
Oh, yeah,
This vegetable is popular in Italy. So if you fellow Americans or whoever's listening to us, if
well, it's not only
you
American,
go,
it's worldwide. It's a worldwide transmission, folks.
I know, okay, but the ones that are in Italy,
America, in England, probably Italy, France, Canada. It's worldwide. Maybe even Australia.
but you see, Rob, I'm teaching people. I just gave people out there, our viewers, the millions that there are out there, radicchio. You go to Italy and say you want a radicchio salad, and they will bring you this. And you will not regret it. You'll say, you see, the MnRTV live show, they gave me a recipe for good salad. And then you tell them balsamic. And they will bring you. You could tell them.
Balsamic's good though. It's very good, very very good. You know, I use that for my dressing, salad dressing.
Yeah. So enjoy the salad that we're giving you here. Number 8, Rob. Number 8.
Rhubarb. Rhubarb. You like rhubarb?
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Having rhubarb is nice in certain pies. Like you like your lemon pies.
I like better than lemon pie now. Blueberry pie.
You know, I used to eat the stems of the rhubarb all the time, but they say not to eat the leaves because it's toxic.
It probably could choke on it too.
Wait. Acid rhubarb leaves contain high concentration of what? And shouldn't be eaten. You see that?
Yeah.
I can't say this word. That's how deadly it is.
Oxalic acid and shouldn't be eaten. While growing rhubarb, harvesting the stems, then remove the leaves and add this to the composite pile. Rhubarb grows best in zones where the ground freezes in winter. Plants require an extended chilling period with temperatures below 40 degrees to produce a crop of stems. Rhubarb can be grown as far south as Zone 7. Now, Zone 10, Zone 7, and maybe there's got to be a map somewhere that talks about what all these zones are, because I have no clue.
I would think Zone 7 is our zone. I would think like close, like Minnesota. Minnesota, it's our zone. Because look, these things, I see them here. I see these rhubarb growing. You know, and I say to myself, I wonder if I could steal a couple of stems of rhubarb. People won't know,
no,
right?
Right, they wouldn't know. No, of course not.
And then you boil them, you cook them, and you know. But who came up with it, saying, you know what, rhubarb goes good in a strawberry or raspberry pie? Who came up with that? That's my thing. Like, was it by accident that they said, you know what, we're going to mix rhubarb with strawberry or raspberry pie? How did they come up with that? Why didn't they use radicchio instead of rhubarb?
Well, why don't you cook it and see? Maybe you could start something.
Radicchio in
I
don't
know.
know.
A cooking show.
Ah, yeah. Now, Rob, this is very refreshing. And yes, these do.
Yes, I love this. Strawberries, and I have to have some this year. The very best strawberries come from a homemade garden because fully ripened strawberries have a rich aromatic flavor unmatched by their supermarket counterparts that are typically picked unripe. Strawberries are perennial, so they die back in winter and start growing vigorously as the soil warms in spring. After bearing fruit as early as February in Florida and as late as June further north, many types of strawberries produce numerous runners with baby plants at the tips. Those runner-ups often root themselves nearly, yet remain attached to the mother plant. But you know what I like? I love eating strawberries with whipped cream. Now that's delicious. Also, what I love is strawberry shortcake.
How about this?
I love that.
Strawberry with Nutella. How about that?
I don't know. I never had that.
But Nutella goes good with everything.
But now you realize that now after the show, I'm going to have to go eat again.
Yeah, me, I'm going to drink water again.
Why water cuts down the appetite, right?
No, I just like water. I'm a water drinker.
I'm probably going to go have remember what I bought yesterday? My blueberry cookies. That's what I'm going to have. I didn't even eat them yet. That's what I'm gonna have. Since we're talking about food, and you know, once we talk about food, all I do is I get hungry and hungrier. That's all I can get.
But you know what I want to do with all these things? I want to see if they all grow in my house. That's my question. Would I be able to grow raspberries in my house? Or strawberries, sorry. Because strawberries... Pardon?
You said in the garden.
Yeah, in the garden. What about in your house? Because these things, they grow like they're like, how can I tell you? They infest your whole garden, eh?
What do you mean infest?
Well, once you put a plant, the plant will just keep growing and becoming longer and wider and...
Yeah, exactly.
Now next, sweet potato.
I love sweet potatoes.
Who doesn't like sweet potatoes? Sweet
potatoes are... potato? It looks like potato or potato.
Potato. I don't know, man. There's too many O's in potatoes.
It's a while though I haven't eaten any sweet potatoes, but they're expensive, eh?
I wonder why everything's expensive, Rob.
Yeah, exactly. Sweet potatoes are so easy to grow. The plants accidentally drop to the ground will take off and grow. If the soil is warm and moist, plant sweet potatoes about 12 to 18 inches apart and allow 3 feet below rows so the vines will have plenty of room to run. Do you eat this stuff, Mario?
No, because it's rare to eat this stuff. I can't find it.
You can't find sweet potatoes?
No, I can't find sweet potatoes.
No, I get some at the market all the time.
So that's number 10, Rob. Number 10 is the sweet potatoes.
Okay.
So any word on our guest or what?
No, I don't think I can reach her. I sent a Facebook message. I contacted her. I'll try again. You know, keep your fingers crossed. I'll try again. You know, because I don't want to call like every minute. You know, but it'd be nice to get some information of what could be going on. So I'll be popping out again.
Yeah, just give me a second. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so now the next thing that I stumbled upon. The common crop pesticide kill beehive larvae in the hive. Now this is not a good thing. You know, is it really pesticides that's doing this, or is it the chemtrails? Is pesticides that bad for all these insects, including honeybees? I want you people to leave comments because something's not adding up here. Okay, I always thought, okay, that chemtrails were the reason why many bees were dying. A lot of us thought that. But when you look at it, these people are claiming otherwise. They're claiming pesticides is killing the bees. As we go further, there's a poor bee. I like the bee. You know, how could they do this to the poor bee? You know, I think the bee should have its own union to take on the guys that are doing the pesticides, you know? Form their own union. That's good. That's what I do. That's what I always do. You want to take on the big guy, you always have to form a union. That's what we're doing here on MnRTV live show. We're forming a union to beat the 1%. Because we're bigger than the 1%. We know how to take care of that 1%. We'll
Mario.
put in our place, yes.
Yeah, our guest is on.
All right.
All right. Okay. So, Karen, are you there?
I'm there.
All right. So it's good to have you on the show.
Sorry for getting out of control. Things have been heating up here, and I'm preparing for a typhoon. And I just wanted to see the school that I'm going to in case the canal that my house is on gets flooded. So.
Oh, you should have told me. We would have rescheduled or something. I had no idea.
No. The problem is mine. I'm just not on top of my schedule. I'm looking at my calendar, and I'm just out of control here. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay. No problem. No problem. So what?
No, I really apologize. I didn't mean to do that to you. And thanks for being good enough to accommodate my late arrival on the scene.
It's okay. It's no problem. Okay. All right. Let me see. Where was I now? Okay. So, Karen, welcome to MnR Show. First of all, second of all, can you tell us a bit about yourself? Like how you found out what's been happening with the banking system?
Yes, it's been quite an adventure because there's more to the banking system than meets the eye. Obviously, it's a problem that's been going on ever since we've had humanity, and they've been covering their tracks. So what I knew was that things were not working right, and that was how I got involved. And the reason that I stuck with the whole adventure is because the world. Let me just say who I am and why you wanted to even bring me to your listeners. I'm a lawyer and an economist, and I worked in the World Bank legal department for 20 years. And before that, well, I'll just go back to square one, and that is that I studied development economics in Holland because I was very unhappy about what was going on in Vietnam. And when they said love it or leave it, I went shopping for a country, found Holland, and after I graduated from NYU undergraduate, I went to Amsterdam and speak Dutch. And then I decided that it really was important, because of the things that I was getting involved with in Holland, that I do go back to the United States, because the United States was at the very center of what it was that I was trying to work on, which was development, to find out why it was that countries were poor and getting poorer, and nobody seemed to be able to fix the problem. And so I went and studied law at Yale Law School. And then I wanted, right from the get-go, to work at the World Bank, because that's the center. If you're a development economist and you want to fix the problem, that's where you go. And they told me that I needed to become a credentialed lawyer and be able to practice law. So I studied securities laws in a securities firm in Wall Street in Manhattan. And then I went to the Export-Import Bank, because the World Bank said, no, in addition to being a credentialed lawyer, I needed to be working in a financial institution. So that's what I did. And then finally, mid-career, I switched to the World Bank and spent 20 years. And you can probably tell from this story that I'm quite determined when I want to try to do something. And so as a lawyer, I knew that the World Bank was out of compliance, and my job as a lawyer was to fix the problem. And so, and the World Bank is a knowledge bank, which is to say that it has projects, and those projects are supposed to be state-of-the-art. And one of the people that wanted to be included in a World Bank project was a political scientist by the name of Jacek Kugler, who had developed what he called a power transition model in the Department of Defense. And this model is, it combines political science and game theory modeling. It's not one of these things where you have to have all of the data of the world and have a very, powerful computer. It uses experts, people who can describe what a situation is. And I was the expert. I described rule of law inside the World Bank. First, I took Jacek to Ghana, and we were trying to figure out why a law for freedom of information wasn't being passed. And we found out that the reason why was because the Germans who were financing that project were insisting on a perfect law, and the people in Ghana were not ready for a perfect law. And once the Germans understood that, they were able to allow the law that was that the Ghanaians wanted to pass. Because the thing about law that I learned is that if you go into a country and ignore that country and just plop a law down, you don't get a legal situation. What you get is people who disrespect the off-the-shelf law that doesn't fit their country. So, I learned a lot in my 20 years at the World Bank. A lot of people criticize me because they say anybody who's a lawyer and who comes from the World Bank and is an American has got to be bad. And, I resented that. Oh, and I'm Jewish. So they said all of those things mean that I obviously have got to be somebody who's loyal only to the groups that I'm a member of. And anybody who thinks that way and stereotypes somebody is part of the problem, because any of the groups that you're a member of obviously is a subset of humanity, and you've got to be in the slang of Judaism, you've got to be a mensch. You have to feel for other people. You can't just run roughshod over them. And so I'm kind of determined that I'm not going to be made to do something that I don't believe in. And that includes my religion. And so if my religion has bullshit in it, I stand up against that religion and I say that is bullshit. And so a lot of people who are very, very mad at the Jewish faith for having been hoodwinked gets mad at me too. And I say, no, don't get mad at me, because I was given a huge concussion in my synagogue because I stood up and I said that if we wanted to be included in a real religion, we had better look at ourselves. And the good thing about Judaism is that a lot of Jewish people don't know about the corruption at the top. And they are right with me. They are right with me. And among them are two rabbis in France who took a look at the Exodus to see, they said if there was an Exodus, there has to be a historical record of the Exodus. And they spent 20 years and they got to the bottom of it. And what they found out was that the Exodus were the Egyptians, and that Hebrew came out of Egyptian hieroglyphs, and that the high priests in Judaism were the pharaohs, one pharaoh in particular named Akhenaten. And I'm not going to go into a great deal about who Akhenaten actually was. You can Google me. I prefer to stick with the main point.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, which is that I've been working with all the people of the world to try to straighten out the terrible corruption in the international financial system, and I've been using this power transition model. Now, when I modeled it, I was very naive. I'm not so naive anymore, because I've had to battle, along with everybody else, against some of these very corrupt forces. And so the mainstream media is owned by a banking cartel that's been very accurately described by three mathematicians at the Federal Institute of Technology in Zurich, Switzerland. And the good people in every single country has been, participating in this huge project of humanity, which is to throw out the banking cartel using this state-of-the-art political science model, which predicted ever since there's a UK whistleblower named Elaine Colville who worked. The World Bank, it consists of 5 different affiliates, and one of those affiliates is called the International Financial Corporation. That's where Elaine Colville worked. She's Scottish, and she has been there every step of the way, documenting how the United Kingdom was corrupt from top to bottom, and that this banking cartel had gone in there and secretly bought key politicians who were just sort of sitting there fat and sassy and trying to wreck everybody else that wasn't going to do the will of the banking cartel. And we just hung in there for many, many years, and we documented exactly the extent and breadth of this corruption. And so if anybody is familiar, there are 2 things you need to understand the story. One of them is the Wizard of Oz movie and the book that was written by Frank Baum in 1910. And many people, fortunately, know about that.
Yes.
Do you have any questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I have a few questions over here for our viewers, because some people were saying to me, what is the World Bank exactly? Is the World Bank a system that controls it all? Like, what does it mean, the World Bank?
That is a perfect question, because a lot of people say that if I'm coming out, from the World Bank, I've got to be part of the problem, and I can't possibly be part of the solution. What I found out is that the World Bank is created specially to stand up against this banking cartel. It was created in 1944, right at the end of World War II, and it was created by a visionary named Jose Rizal. And Rizal was the son of a man named Prince Talano, who was the twin of Queen Victoria. And they sent him off to the Philippines. They wanted Victoria to be the regent. And this Prince Talano, his son Rizal, ended up, he was a candidate for the Pope. He ended up going to the Vatican. Some people say that he was executed, but he was not executed. And then he came back to the Philippines, and people trusted him. He was also an ophthalmologist and went around and did eye surgery on many of the royalty of that age. And so everybody trusted him, and they thought it was a very safe place to put the Vatican's gold. And the Spanish conquistadors had taken the world's gold from, you know, the Incas and, I mean, you name it. You know what the Spanish conquistadors did. So there's a lot of gold in the world. And what Jose Rizal did was in 1944, he established the World Bank because he thought that if you had a cooperative of all the countries in the world, the people would use that structure to take back the world's wealth. And then he used a young lawyer by the name of Ferdinand Marcos to put all of the world's wealth in a trust fund. And they kept that wealth in the trust fund for 50 years. And the significance of that is that if you claim that you own something and you do not get it back after 50 years, your claim is no longer valid. So he cleaned up all of the claims that people have for the world's wealth. And the world's wealth is now in a trust fund waiting to be given back to the people on this planet. I found out about this not when I was at the World Bank. I was just doing my job because I knew that the financial statements of the World Bank were out of whack, and I bought a World Bank bond so that the World Bank would not be immune and I could sue it and do something that a securities lawyer knows, which is to bring the World Bank into compliance. The other thing I was going to mention so that people understand what's going on is Enron. That was a company which was out of compliance, and the board of directors didn't do their job. And then finally, everybody had to clean up the mess because the board of directors didn't do their job. And that's exactly what's going on at the World Bank, because I have told the board, and the World Bank has two different layers. It's got the executive directors, which is like a board of a company inside, that are supposed to be managing that place. There's 25 of them, and I know them very well. Don't forget, I was there for 20 years, okay. And I've been writing to them and scolding them for not doing their jobs. And then there's a second layer, which is the governors of the Board of Governors of the World Bank. Those are the ministers of finance of all the countries that are members of the World Bank. And now it's most of the countries on Earth. It's 188 of them. A couple of big countries are not included. One of them is Taiwan. One of them is North Korea. And then there's some smaller countries that aren't included. But it's, for all practical purposes, it is the world's cooperative, and the world's governments are supposed to be, managing the place. And when the governments have been taken over by this banking cartel that thinks it owns the world and is able to rule the world, then you have a big mess. And so what I've been doing, along with all of the World Bank whistleblowers, is we've been documenting all of this corruption. And it's pretty deep. As a matter of fact, it's horrendously deep, and they've gotten some terrible technology that I didn't know anything about, but I'm learning about, to try to benefit, to stand up against this system was going to be punished, and they could punish the people in terrible ways using this technology. But we've learned about it, and we've managed to stand up against it anyway, all of us working together. We've gotten a lot of help. And so that's what the World Bank is. It's there to give the world back its wealth. And that's exactly what we're doing. We've managed to hang on there. We've gotten the help we needed. I used the political science model, which showed that there would be coalitions to form. And the coalitions have formed. And we're a lot stronger united than that banking cartel. And that banking cartel is going down big time, soon.
Okay, I see. So the World Bank it's something that's good. There's a cartel, from what I understand, there's a cartel working against it, a banking cartel.
Okay, when you say it's good, it's only as good as we make it. it's been hijacked by that banking
yes,
cartel.
yeah.
The governments that are in there running it are, you know, corrupt.
But
Everybody has got to roll up their sleeves and clean the place out.
But before that,
so,
it was good. Okay. I get it. Okay. And this cartel.
So wait a minute. Let me just bring things down to a very granular.
Okay,
level,
go ahead. Yes.
Because that's where you really have to be in order to understand what's going on.
Right.
I'm not really changing the subject.
No.
But the thing about it is that when nobody's perfect. Everybody's got their own blind spots. Everybody's got their own things that they're hiding from themselves that they don't want to know, the things that are not so pretty. And so what we tend to do is we tend to lie to ourselves. Everybody does. And the trick is to try to find people who you trust to tell you what it is that you're lying to yourself about. And so, everybody's got to understand the dynamic, and you're never going to understand yourself perfectly. There's always going to be something about yourself that's too scary and horrible to understand, and other people know it, but you don't, because you won't face up to who you really are. And if you're lucky, that piece is a lot smaller than, you know, some people have huge blind spots, and some people have small blind spots, and the trick is to work on your blind spot and get it small. And so I'll give you a for instance, and everybody's got to do that for themselves with people they know and love and trust. And it's a process. You've got to you've got to work on it. And once you understand that process, you understand how difficult it is to tell somebody that something they don't want to know. They have to work with you on it. The person or the organization or whatever it is has to be willing to tackle the blind spot. And so in my particular case, what it was my two sisters and I, we had a situation where my mother was ready to go into an assisted living facility. And I was lying to myself because I happened to be the one, you know, we all lived in the same area, but I happened to be the one that was closer. And so I was the quote unquote good daughter, but I was lying to myself because I wasn't the good daughter. My sisters had seen very well that my mother had health issues and that she was lonely, and that the fact that I was facilitating her staying in this house was actually not good. And I wasn't going to admit it to myself, and my motive I wasn't going to admit, which was I thought it was going to cost money if she was going to be in the assisted living facility. And I was lying to myself. I was saying it would be too wrenching of a move for her to move out of her house that she'd been in for a long time. But they saw it right and I saw it wrong, and they were very angry at me for lying to myself. And it took a long time, and I finally understood the dynamics of it, and we finally allowed my mother to move where she needed to be. And as she's gotten older, her health has raised more issues, and we were very lucky that I finally saw my blind spot. But anyway, that's just how it works, and it goes back into an organization that has blind spots, or a country that has blind spots, is going to do horrible things, and it's got to be willing to look at itself and fix itself. And so when you're talking about the World Bank, it is going to be one heck of a challenge to get that place turned around, but it can be done, and it has to be done, because it is the organization that is responsible for getting the world's wealth back to the world's people. And I think we can do it.
And who is like, for I probably know, but who, like, for viewers that are listening, because there's always new viewers, who is this cartel, this banking cartel? Is there names? Is it an organization known as the Illuminati, or something completely different?
Yes. It's got all kinds of layers. The first layer that everybody knows is the big banks that are too big to fail. What they did was they took the same directors and they put them on the boards of these big banks in a way that you had to be a mathematician to model, to see how they had done it. So 4 big companies are owning all of the rest of the financial entities, and because of the way they did it, they're actually in control of 40% of the net worth of all of the companies that are traded on the capital markets. There's about 43,000 of them, and but they're all interconnected So it's really all one banking cartel. That's how come you had the LIBOR scandal, because they were just one bank. So, you know, it's Citibank, it's, I mean, you know it, Deutsche Bank, all of those big banks, they're Goldman Sachs, they're all one big financial conglomerate. And that's, you know, that's one layer of it. And they have bought up all the governments because they can just print money and charge people interest on it. So if any country is going to be, the people are going to be working 3 months of the year just for this conglomerate because they're paying taxes that are all going to that conglomerate. And some people say, oh, that couldn't possibly be. But actually, Ronald Reagan had a commission called the Grace Commission that looked into this, and they found out, yes, all of the tax money is going outside the country. It's going to the City of London, and then from the City of London, it's going to the Vatican. And when people say, oh, it's going to the Vatican, I'm just, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about. I do know what I'm talking about, and that's where it's going. And then when you get into the world's religions, the organized religions, they are part of this network of control. And that's all I'm going to say on that. You know, it's controversial, but I can prove it. And a lot of the people that understand this can help me prove it and show it to you. And I'm not saying that the religions themselves are bad or the local parish priests are bad, because many of them don't understand about this network of corruption and control.
So the control would be the higher levels which they're not aware of, from what I understand.
That's right. That's right.
So this cartel, is there names like Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Bush family, or is it something completely different?
It's those guys, but then there's a group of 13, they call them bloodlines, the Illuminati families.
The 13 bloodlines, yes, yes.
Yeah. So the Rockefellers, yeah, they're not good people, obviously, and they you know, the Rothschild sons went out and established this cartel in the 1800s. But in terms of this inner network of control, there's something called Knights of the Garter. They're not as lofty as the Illuminati bloodlines.
Okay.
Yeah. This goes back for centuries.
Babylonian times, probably. In the time.
Yeah, before that. Okay. It just, but I'm going to try to stick to the financial part because that is the part that's got my expertise.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Have you met any of these 13 families?
I must have, but you know, I wasn't aware of it. I have been, my career has, you know, my family is not one of these wealthy families. I'm, you know, middle class, and I ended up in these lofty universities just by virtue of hard work. That's what I am. I'm a hard worker, and I'm determined. And those two things, that's why I'm. And I learned at the World Bank that you have to have teamwork to get anything done. So that's who I am.
Great.
I mean, and you can look at the chronology of what I saw when, and because I went to law school, I know how to document it. So I can document every single thing that I've said. Or I can show you the expert who's told me, you know, and I didn't just take everybody's word for it. I'm kind of gullible. And so, you know, I've had to look at the information that I've been given and sift through it. And some of it was true and a lot of it wasn't. And that's what everybody has to do, by the way. They have to get, like, book clubs, but, you know, of your people that you want to be working with for a long time. And just look at current events. The one thing that you do not need to do is turn on your TV for the news, because all that is rubbish and lies.
It's controlled media.
It's more than controlled media. The journalism profession has been unfortunately hijacked just as much as the lawyers have and the accountants have. Some of them are good, but most of them, you know, they go along to get along, and their stories are just absolute rubbish and the important information. So I just had, finally, after all these years, I just had my first article in the mainstream media. That was in a publication called Newsweek on Espanol.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, I told my family that this was coming, and they couldn't believe it.
It's wonderful.
because the mainstream media, and so when I originally went to the mainstream media. I went to them for a long time, and finally, in frustration, when I have a website, it's called www.KAHUDES.net, and if you look at the top row of my website, what I have is I have what I thought were the groups that had anything to do with cleaning up the corruption. And so I put media up there because I thought the media was going to help. I didn't realize that the media was owned by the banking cartel and that they were there to tell everybody lies. So if you click on the picture that says media, you'll see my letter in frustration to all of the editors of the newspapers, saying that nobody believed them anymore because they weren't telling any good stories. They were just telling lies. And that's up there, and you can see it. And that was a while ago. And, you know, they finally realized they tried to get us into World War III in Syria by telling us that there was sarin gas. And that's been exposed now. But this was the very first time that people have not gone to war, that people knew that the mainstream media was telling them lies. And going back to the Wizard of Oz, what the mainstream media is, you know, in the very last scene where Toto the dog pulls back the curtain, the World Bank whistleblowers, we're Toto the dog, and we pulled back the curtain, and the mainstream media is that big projection screen.
Yeah.
Not reality. It's just there for, you know, the wizard, the man behind the curtain. That's the banking cartel. The man behind the curtain wants everybody to believe what's on that projection screen. And that projection screen, that's the mainstream media. That is not going to tell you what you need to know. What you need to know, nobody's going to tell you. You have to find out for yourself. You have to learn how to sift through the stuff that you're told anywhere. You can't say, oh, well, Karen's somebody who's reliable. I'm just going to listen to her. You cannot do that.
You have to do your own research.
Yes, because how do you know that what I'm telling you is correct? I mean, it is correct.
But, yeah.
You've got to develop your own ability and your own network, and it can't just be you. The reason why it can't be you is because it's too difficult for one person to manage, and especially because of some of this technology that I don't want to go into, but you need a group.
Since you're doing this, they must not be happy that you're doing this, like whistleblowing. Has your life been threatened? Have you had to move away, hide, or anything like that? Are you able to say anything about this?
Yeah, I can say about it all the time. And let's start out by saying that I'm a lot safer than I was earlier on in this saga. But it's never been easy, and there are people who I'm dealing with that are bearing a lot of the brunt of what it is, because it's all a network. So
if something happens,
the thing is, it's not that I have some information to tell somebody that if I don't tell you, everybody's going to be okay. What I'm talking about is the cover-up itself. And anybody can pick up from where I leave off. So, and if something happens to me, they're not going to solve their problem. They're going to make it a lot worse. Because what I'm doing is and everything that I have ever done, I've always done that very day. So it's not like if we can just interrupt Karen's flow of information, we'll be better off. Because all I'm doing is I am saying that the system itself is covering things up. And it's in the world of finances, I reported that the World Bank financial statements were not accurate because anybody that saw that there was a mistake in them, who tried to point it out, was fired. That's called internal control over financial reporting. So if you get rid of me, you haven't solved your problem. You've made it worse, because people say, oh yeah, we don't know what's in the financial statements because they bumped off Karen, and that's going to intimidate everybody. So they weren't going to solve their problem. But the way I was working, also, everybody that I was working with knew exactly what I was working on. So it wasn't that they were going to get off the hook. The people that were working with me were going to punish whoever tried to do anything to me. And one of the things that I did earlier on was that there's a publicist named Larry Garrison. He's the one, if you look on my YouTube channel, you'll see he was the first one that did a video of me. And at a certain point, Larry wasn't very happy, so I flew out to California to see why he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy because somebody attacked him, and he stood by me. I said, "Look, Larry, I'm not rich. I can't give you a lot of money, but I can tell you that you're getting half of the rights to my story. And I haven't written the book yet, but it's going to be a real doozy. That's one of the things I was supposed to be doing here in Tokyo, was writing the book, and I've been too busy dealing with everything. But so that's my story. That's how I've managed to stay alive. It's because I'm doing my job as a lawyer, reporting securities fraud, and getting rid of me only makes your problem worse, doesn't make it better.
So I would go ahead.
And Larry, they knew, was going to deliver on that story. He was my life insurance policy.
So I would imagine if something happened to you, there'd be somebody else taking your place.
It would be 10 people taking my place.
Okay, okay.
And now it would be the whole planet taking my place. Yeah. So I'm hiding in plain sight is where I am.
Okay. So what's happening? Because I keep hearing that the global economy or the U.S. economy is going to collapse. They're going to bring in a new world order, and we're going to have to take this system. Is this what's happening? Because I keep hearing different types of stuff that's going to be happening, different types of scenarios. So
yeah, you've got the fearmongers. You've got the fearmongers who, some of them are making a lot of money selling you all the little doodads that you need in order to make yourself self-sufficient.
Yes.
But I do not think that is happening. Look, I can't guarantee it. So, I'm not saying don't prepare for the worst.
So,
and if you're asking me what is it that you need to do most,
buy silver.
For the worst, that is get yourself some precious metals, gold coins, silver coins. They don't have to be that expensive, but get enough of them that if this monetary system, because the paper money is trash, it's toilet paper, it's going down. And the question is whether we can transition in a smooth way before that happens. And I think we can, but I have no way to guarantee it. So that's what you do. Keep gas in your car, have enough food that you're not going to starve when the grocery stores aren't able to supply you if we run into hiccups. But I frankly think that the chance that we do just fine is 90 to 95%. Because I'm following this power transition model, and I'll tell you the people who are working with me on this, that's the U.S. military. One of the reasons that they're doing this is because the banking cartel tried to drop a nuclear device on Charleston on the 7th of October in 2013. And two heroes prevented that from happening, Tim Giardina and Michael Carey. And they were fired by a traitor named John Reimer, who's the Inspector General. I went to John Reimer. I said, the excuses that people made for firing these heroes are simply not military protocol, and you reinstate these heroes. And he didn't do it. So, so the rest of the military, who understands that those are heroes and that they need to be reinstated, and that there are some unpatriotic officers who think they can get away with being traitors. Well, they're just working around those crooks. Those crooks are going to get their comeuppance very shortly. So it's the U.S. military that doesn't want to nuke American citizens. That's who's backing me. And there's, in a couple of days in the United States, in New Orleans, the National Association of Counties is going to be meeting. Everybody's got their county executives. Well, it just so happens that the president of the County Executives of America is my county executive, Ike Leggett. That's not an accident, because last July, which is when they meet for their annual meeting, there was a write-in campaign because people wanted to get their government honest. And so the county said, okay, let's put Ike there and let's see what Karen can deliver. Well, I delivered big time, and they're meeting now on the 11th. And I would like very much for people who are listening to get in touch with their county executive and say that they are watching to see whether the county executives are part of the solution or part of the problem. Because the United States is going to be strong and big and beautiful, or it's going to be not even a third world country. It's going to be hated by every single country in the world for all of the horrible things that we did because the banking cartel was telling us what to do, and we were too stupid to understand that that was what was happening.
So when is this financial global collapse supposed to happen? Is there a time frame? Because I keep hearing between now and 6 months. Is it plausible?
What's happening is in 2 or 3 days, the BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are going to meet, and they're going to capitalize another bank. And the way they're going to do it is they're going to put all of the trash dollars that nobody wants in that bank. And they're going to solve the problem of U.S. dollars going down that way. So the U.S. is no longer going to have dollars as the international monetary reserve currency. And the Federal Reserve is going to be owned by the Chinese, and the United States is going to be a colony of China. Now, that's not happening. What's really happening is that the United States is going to tell the Federal Reserve that we do not need them anymore. We don't want their Federal Reserve note. They are insolvent. We're going to take them over under the bankruptcy laws, and we are going to issue on an interim basis the dollars that were printed by Ronald Reagan. What happened with Ronald Reagan was he had this commission that showed that our tax dollars were all going outside the country in the interest payments to the Federal Reserve. And he decided to print U.S. dollars. Those dollars that he printed are in this trust account, and we are going to issue the Treasury dollars to replace the Federal Reserve notes, and they're going to be backed by the gold. That it belongs to every citizen on this planet. It's going to be backed by that gold, and then we're slowly and carefully going to be minting the gold into currency, so we don't have to have paper currency anymore. And that's what we're going to do all across the world. All the countries are going to be minting this gold into currency. It'll take a while. There's a lot of gold, and that's what's going to happen with 90 to 95% likelihood. And that's why I'm in Tokyo, because I've written to all of the countries of the world, and I've given them the draft agreement to be signed for this transition. And so you'll know in a couple of days whether people are signing that agreement or whether China's taking over the world.
And if that 5% happens, that China takes over the world, that's it, right? It's all going to be, everything's going to be controlled by China.
Yeah. No, not everybody's going to be controlled, because what we're going to have is we're going to have a currency war with 90 to 95% likelihood. And then you'll know that that's what we're having. There won't be any question about it. That's what we'll be having. But I don't think we're having it. As I said, the military. See, this power transition model that I was telling you about, that Jacek Kugler came to the World Bank with, it's still in the Department of Defense. I wrote to that group yesterday. I said, okay, you guys know what the deal is. Are we going down as a country? Are we unilaterally surrendering to China, or are we a strong, good country? Which are we? And they're going to answer us. And in the meantime, I've told you and everybody else, because we're not going to let our military surrender, and they don't want to surrender. So I think we're going to be just fine.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's great to hear, you know, because a lot of people are asking me, Robert, what's going on in the economy? Do we have to get gold? Do we have to get silver? And I've answered them, it's always good to get some silver and gold.
That's exactly right. But the thing is, it's not for investment. It's not for investment.
No.
There's a lot of silver and a lot of gold that's in this global debt facility. It's for insurance, just in case the transition doesn't go as smoothly as I think it should. But it should go smoothly. Everybody's in agreement. We don't want and we don't need this banking cartel. We know what they are. We know who they are. And no, thank you. We'd rather go our own way. You go your way, and we'll go ours.
But the thing is, if this banking cartel does control the world, the 13 families, whatever you want to call them, there's all kinds of different names. If they control, can't they fight back? Don't they have all the military, all the technologies to enslave us?
Okay. If we're the military, and the military is with us.
Yeah, but don't they own the military?
Okay, but here's the rub.
Yes.
They have, it's this mutually assured destruction. They will be smart enough to have enough of the bad stuff to get us good. So we're going to have to deal with them. We're going to have to deal with them, but they're not as scary. They're really that little old man in the projection screen. We've been scaring ourselves. And by the way, in the alternative media, you can tell who is owned by the banking cartel. Alternative media is not just, oh, I can turn on the alternative media and I'll be, I'll get the best information. It doesn't work that way. I'll give you a for instance. Adam Schwartz, who invented Reddit, you know about how he was suicided?
Yes.
Well, so Condé Nast bought up Reddit. And they ran some stupid story on me, and I tried to fix it. I tried to answer the questions. They wouldn't let me on. So this is, you've got to figure out what's good and what's bad in the alternative media. I'll tell you, if you hear somebody talking about extraterrestrials, turn it off. They're owned by the Vatican. There are no extraterrestrials. That is bullshit.
So there are no extraterrestrials?
There are none. None. Zero. Zip. That's, people want to confuse you and make you think there are extraterrestrials. So if they're talking about extraterrestrials, run the other way. They're disinformation. And the other way is if they're scaring you. If they're scaring you. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have insurance. But I'm saying the chances that we manage to have a smooth transition and get these, idiots out of our hair, we all know they're idiots and they're not going to scare us anymore. It's like that projection screen. We just ignore them. They're stupid old bankers, and we don't have to be scared. The military is ours, not theirs.
What about didn't you say there's another type of species that live with larger heads that are living with us?
It's a lot of trouble talking about this because that's not my main area of expertise. I will give you the phone number of the guy who told me about it. He is a Yale Medical School trained neurologist, Ed Spencer, and you can ask him that to your heart's content, and he's the expert on it, and you can go to him and get it straight from the horse's mouth. Okay?
Okay, why, you got in trouble with that? Is that what you...
I've had people get angry at me because of what is reality. I don't want to take that flack. They can hear the reality from Ed Spencer just as well as they can hear it from me.
Okay, I see. Boy, so, the thing is what is this with the Vatican? Because I have a question here. Someone says, what is the Vatican and the power behind it?
The Vatican is, look, the Catholic Church, as I've explained, has many good priests in there and many good religious people that are sincere in their faith. And some of them have written to me and given me the lists of the parts of the Catholic Church that are really doing right by their people. Yeah, but at the very top, unfortunately, it's been hijacked by corrupt people. People are people, and some people that say that they're religious are really not. They're just there to, to gain control. And you've got to recognize that.
So that would be like the Jesuits, the Black Pope.
That's right. And there's even something called a Grey Pope.
The Grey Pope?
Yeah.
Okay, what is that?
These 13 families, the bloodlines.
Yes.
It's a guy named Orsini. I forget his first name.
Okay.
I wrote him a letter. I said, people understand all of this now, and nobody's paying any attention to you. You better just figure that out for yourself. You're exposed.
Okay, so he's the Grey Pope.
Yeah. And he's probably more powerful than the other two combined.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's kind of like, and because all these names that we see, it's like there's always people higher up that are controlling them that you don't see their names. Like they say, Bill Gates is the richest man in the world.
No, it's not.
It's just a cover because they need to have somebody saying they're the richest man in the world, which he's not.
They need to have somebody for people to get mad at that isn't them.
How about a name here? Evelyn the Rothschild.
Yeah, what about it?
How evil is he? Evil or powerful?
Look, I'm not the person to sit here in judgment. I don't like to do that. But yes, the Rothschilds are certainly complicit in all of this. They've been, but there are people behind them that are even worse. And people say, oh, well, she's obviously Jewish, so she's standing up for him. I am not standing up for him. He is a discredit to the Jews.
Okay, yeah, I have another question over here for you from one of my viewers. What is your views on the Zionists?
All right. I was punched, almost knocked out in the synagogue for saying that there were people who were hiding behind the true Judaism because they were corrupt. And I was, you know, people were not happy that I was saying that, and they nearly, you know, I had this terrible concussion. Some young guy hit me in the chin, and I had a severe headache for like a week. And then after that, I wrote an email to the man who represents Israel at the World Bank. And I told him what had happened to me, and that these thugs and shills and liars and cheats were hiding behind Judaism and trying to get all of the Jews in trouble for them, because most of the Jews were too stupid to understand how they were standing in and hiding those crooks. And I copied all of the executive directors in the world. And I said, and you know, if you don't like what I'm saying, you sort it out with me. You don't send in thugs to punch me. And after I did that, and I cited this book by two rabbis that were talking about what the Exodus really was. And some of the people that I'm working with told me who the really good people in Israel were. And I copied them on that. And then Israel closed down their Ministry of Foreign Affairs to sort these things out. And they're sorting them out now. And some of the Jews understand what I'm saying, but most of them don't. And a lot of people are still, you know, playing the games and getting mad at the Rothschilds, who you should get mad at, but they're not the real crooks. I'm sorry, they are the real crooks, but there are even worse crooks than them.
Any names?
Sure, I just gave you them. They're the 13 family bloodlines.
But the Rothschilds are part of... Yeah, but the Rothschilds... Well, isn't the Rothschilds part of the 13 families?
No, they are not.
Okay,
they are lower on the totem pole. There's something called Knights of the Garter, and they're there.
Okay, go ahead. Read the names if you can. Sure, why not?
Okay, let me just fumble around here.
By all means.
Right on my screen. I can get it open in a minute. Just, you know, if there's music, you can play the music. Okay. I have to remember what I call it.
Okay, yeah, take your time, you know, I mean, I'll be talking, you know, so folks, you see, we're learning a lot of information here, something beyond the 13 bloodlines, which we talked a lot about on the show in recent months.
Okay, well, I was gonna read you those bloodlines. If you've been talking about them, then you already know about it.
I've had guests on. I've had the author that wrote the 13 Bloodlines of the Illuminati is a friend of mine, and he wrote a book, Fritz Springmeier, and he always talks about it, and that's how I learned about the Illuminati.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I found what I was looking for. Okay. So they're Pepe Orsini and Henry Breakspear. Those are the, you know, Pepe is in Italy and Henry is in Macau. And that's, you know, they're about as big on Earth as it gets.
I've heard of the Orsini family.
Yeah, then there's the Cecil family. They were controlled by the Jesuit family known as the Pallavicinis. And Maria Camilla Pallavicini is more powerful than Queen Elizabeth II. And then there's the papal bloodline, the Breakspear family. And their UK headquarters is 114 Mount Street, and the Queen and Prince Philip are subordinate to the Breakspears. Okay?
Okay.
And then I can read you bloodlines. Let's see. There's House of Borga, there's House of Breakspear, there's House of Somaglia, there's House of Orsini, there's House of Conti, there's House of Chigi, there's House of Colonna, there's House of Farnese. And let's talk about the Farneses for a while. There was Prince Carlos in Spain who just stepped down. He stepped down because people, you know, understood that he was the head of the royalty. That was, you know. But as I said, there are people behind those people. Anyway, and then there's one more house, House of Medici. So that's the Zoroastrian bloodlines of the Illuminati. Okay?
Isn't that like yes, thank you.
Sorry, it's another page. There's House of Gattani, there's House of Pamphili, there's House of Este, and there's House of Aldobrandini. And those bloodlines go all the way back to Egyptian Ptolemaic dynasty rulers. And there's something called the High Grey Council of 10. I mean, you couldn't make this stuff up.
No, you couldn't. So that's like sort of like the black nobility. These families.
Yeah.
Hidden from everyone.
Well, it's not hidden anymore, is it?
No, but before it was hidden.
Yeah, no, it's not hidden now.
So is there any links on your website about these families or anywhere I could go on the internet?
I have just, no, what I have is I have the emails that people send me, that, you know, and a lot of people send me stuff, but after a while I realize some of it is correct. And so this is some, I didn't put this up. See, what I put up on my website is the financial stuff.
Right.
And that's pretty important because that's, you know, what they say, money makes the world go round. Well, that's, you know, getting our finances straightened out, which is, a lot of people want to know where do we go from here. And so let me tell you, some people are writing me and saying, what form do I fill out to get my handout? That's not how it's going to work. At least the way I think it's going to work. The way I think it's going to work is that we're not going to have something called legal tender laws, which says what currency you're allowed to use to pay the debts. It's going to be up to people to decide what currency is a keeper, which currency they want to use, and which currency they are going to pay with or accept payment. And because you have that, you'll have something called local currency, which means that your local businesses are going to accept that currency. They'll all agree to accept that currency. And what happens then in those communities where the merchants all agree on a local currency is there's going to be full employment. And they're going to have advantages. You're going to want to get local goods, local services. If it's a farming area, you'll want to buy the produce from your local farmers. It's going to work that way, and that's what's going to happen. So those communities that can get themselves organized are going to be. It's going to be beautiful. Everybody's going to learn from each other. Everybody's going to be straightening things out. And if you have these groups where you're trying to figure out what's going on, you'll be able to figure out what's going on locally, and you'll be in a good position to to prosper and thrive. That's what's going to happen.
So are these groups, these evil groups, I don't want to call them, are they Luciferian, satanic in any way, worship demons and devils, and do all kinds of like blood sacrifices? Do you know anything about it?
They do all kinds of horrible things so that they can, so that they're stuck. Because once they've done those horrible things, it's like a fraternity in the hazing. Once you've done something really dumb, then all your brothers in the fraternity know that you've done that dumb thing, and you're stuck with them. And so, yeah, they do about as bad as stuff as you can imagine so that they can be blackmailed if they ever want to do something else, that they get tired of it.
Okay, so in the next couple of days, we should be seeing certain things happen, right?
I hope so, yeah. The first thing that you'll see is whether the United States is issuing those uncut Treasury dollars or whether we're stuck with the Federal Reserve note, in which case... yeah, it's not going to be pretty. But as I said, the chances that we get our act together as a country and come out ahead of the game, it's 90 to 95%.
Okay, great, wonderful. But it's not just a country. This is worldwide.
That's right.
It's like if people live in different countries, they can't say, "Oh, I don't care. You know, it's not my problem, but this is everybody's problem. This is a global problem because don't forget what they want. They want the global control of the whole world.
Well, that's not happening. Is what I'm telling you. It's not happening. They lost. They lost the race.
They lost the race, and yeah, that sounds wonderful. You know, I mean, that's what I'm hoping to hear. I'm hoping to hear some positive news for once, because all I hear is negative news all the time since I've been doing this. So this is wonderful news.
That's because they own the media. They want to scare you.
Yeah, they do. What about the media, alternative media like InfoWars?
Oh, I wish you hadn't asked me that, Robert.
Oh, I wanted to, then I said no, then I said yeah. Because
let me punt on that one, okay? I'm busy here with the typhoon.
Oh, okay. I get it. So there's a typhoon coming. Oh, well, one other question. Maybe you don't know about this, but they do control the weather.
Yes, I know that. That's why the typhoon is coming.
HAARP.
Like what we're doing here.
HAARP, right? You've heard of HAARP?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I just, you know, because we have like a few minutes left on the show, you know. And in closing, is there anything you want to tell my viewers or anybody, because this is worldwide, this transmission over here?
Yes, I want to say that I'm very glad to have this opportunity to talk to you all, and you can contact me on my website. There's a contact place there, and just roll up your sleeves and get ready for a better world, because it's going to be up to us whether it's better or not. And it's not going to get better unless we all roll up our sleeves and work at it. And the number one way, actually, to find out whether we're on track is whether you're hearing from whistleblowers and they're telling you what things are really like on the inside of any of these places, and they're not getting punished. If the whistleblowers are getting punished, you know that you don't know what you need to know to fix things.
I just have blank memory. So the question I asked you before, are you going to give me the email after about the certain species?
Yes, I can put it right now in the chat box. Yeah, his name is Dr. Ed Spencer, and I will be very happy to give you his email address, and he'll be happy to follow up with you.
Because I don't want to get you in trouble or anything, you know?
No, I don't. It's not that I get in trouble. It's that people attack me and say that if I believe that this is the case, then everything else I say is wrong.
Yeah.
So what I want to say is there are experts who you should go to on these questions, and everything I'm telling you about the financial sector I know firsthand.
Okay, and this you're gonna put in the chat room, or?
I'm gonna put it up as we speak. I'm just getting his email address for you. I should know it by heart by now, but I'm sorry.
So I could contact him because when I told people you're coming on my show, they've been like maybe 50% wanted to know about this.
Okay, well,
so
Dr. Spencer will tell you about it. I'm not denying it. I'm just saying that let's go to the guy who's the real expert on it.
Oh, okay. Then I could get in contact with him and see what I can do overhead with that.
Yeah, here's his email address. It's right there. You got it?
Let me see. Well, I don't see it.
I just put it in the chat box.
Okay. Can you see it? I just wrote to you.
The chat box isn't working? I'm going down.
Oh, wait. Yeah, maybe it is. Okay. Yeah, I see it. So his name.
Okay, there it is. That's Dr. Spencer's email.
Okay, and I could email him about this, and he'll respond to me.
He will respond right away, and if he doesn't, just get back to me, and I'll tell him that he's got to respond. He'll be happy to be on your show.
Oh, he would be. Okay, and may I ask what kind of doctor he is?
Yes, he is a neurologist, and he retired, but he went to Yale Medical School, and he's the one who who told me about this. What happened was I went to film. There was a movie producer named MnRTV who was trying to distribute his wonderful movie, The Banksters Made Off with America, and the banking cartel was fighting him on it. So he interviewed me, And then he told me about Dr. Spencer, and Dr. Spencer is the one who told me about the people that I'm working with here in Japan. So it was Edmund Riley who actually, for all practical purposes, solved the the inner corruption inside the financial system.
Oh, so he sounds like he'd be an amazing guest also.
He really would, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the one who solved it.
Okay.
I just was happy to learn about this stuff after he had done all the hard work.
Okay, because I've seen your videos. You've talked about this and everything recently, so I said, oh my gosh, we got to talk about this. But I guess I'll get to the real expert.
Yeah, that's who he is.
All right, so in closing, I would like to thank you for coming on the MNR Hangout Live TV show. And once the show's recorded, I'll send you a link to it.
Thank you.
And good luck with the typhoon. Hopefully you'll come out of it with no problems. Hopefully it won't even come your way.
Right, and sorry for being late. I really apologize for that. And one last word is that if you hear this recording before the 11th, or actually I think it's the 12th of July, it starts the 11th. That's the National Association of Counties. Make sure you weigh in to say that you want your country to be strong and good, and you don't want this banking cartel or the Federal Reserve to run the United States into the ground.
That would be for my American viewers, because I'm not American. I'm from Canada.
Okay.
So, and I had a lot of American viewers,
For the Canadians, I can say that you should get in touch with your ambassador in Tokyo and tell them to sign up the monetary agreement. And this is true for any country. Get in touch with your ambassador in Tokyo and tell them to sign up the monetary agreement.
May I ask why Tokyo?
Yes. It's because Japan is a country that has been punished just about more than anybody else for the banking cartel. The bomb that was dropped on them for Hiroshima, that was because they were refusing to hand over the world's gold. They were hiding it, and the war could have ended 2 or 3 years earlier than it did, but the Japanese held out, and they held out for the world that now has the gold to take back. They did that for us.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and they're a strong country, and right now the United States occupies them with a status of forces agreement, and it was very important for me to be able to interact directly with the U.S. military. And that's what I'm doing via the Joint Committee in Japan.
Okay, okay.
There's it's called the Japan-U.S. Committee under the Status of Forces Agreement, and I'm dealing directly with the U.S. military this way.
Great, wonderful, wonderful news. So hopefully you could come back on our show, and we love having you. My viewers are very, very happy, and of course, once this goes on YouTube, I'm gonna promote it so more people are gonna see, because we're trying to get out the information as much as possible.
Great.
All right, so thank you very much for coming on the show, and hopefully you'll come back very soon.
Yes, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes, Robert.
Well, folks, what a wonderful guest we had on tonight.
Yes. I'm glad she came on.
I can hear you, Mario.
Pardon?
Can anybody hear Mario?
I'm on. Could you hear me? You could hear me.
I don't hear Mario at all. Can you guys hear me?
People can hear me. The people can hear you.
Oh, boy.
Because I could hear you, yes.
Mario's on mute, I guess.
No, I'm not on mute. I'm not on mute.
You're muted.
No, no. I'm not on.
Talk?
I could talk. Yes, I could talk. People can hear me.
Okay.
But anyways.
Can you hear me?
No, I hear you.
Boy. I wish I could do lip reading.
No, no, no. I hear you.
This is funny.
But anyhow, we're going to end the show.
We don't hear you.
I hear you. Yes, we hear, Rob. We'll end the show. Oh, man. It's not good. Must have happened to all the time. All the time, there's always something wrong.
What are you laughing for?
Because this is nuts. Do I have to call you? Do I have to call
you? No, I hear you now.
We end the show. Okay, now you hear me. Hey, this guy. You make me go out through that trouble.
Yeah, so like I was saying, we had a great guest tonight.
Yeah, very great. I'm happy we had her on.
Well, world of information, folks, and we'll be back next week with more information, and hopefully we learn a lot of stuff tonight about the world banking system, stuff that we couldn't even imagine was going on.
No, but that's it. We'll end now. We'll see you next weekend. Thank you for watching.
God bless you all, and thank you very much. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.